Hello, it's Jennifer Harding Marlin, a citizenship by investment attorney and local agent for the St Kitts and Nevis Citizenship by Investment Program. So today's video is going to talk in depth about the St Kitts and Nevis Citizenship by Investment Program, as well as the most recent updates in particular regarding the public benefit option. So to start off, I'm going to just talk in general about the Citizenship by Investment Program for St. Kitts for those who are new to this channel. So the St. Kitts and Nevis Citizenship by Investment Program has been in operation since 1984. It's the longest established citizenship program in the world, often recognized as the Platinum brand. It ranks highly on citizenship by investment rankings and is one of the top ranked Caribbean citizenship by investment programs. It's one of my favorites to help process and to help people with the program. We've been helping people for nearly 10 years now, and under current management, it has some of the friendliest people at the citizenship unit, and they're very helpful. And I love having people come and visit and experience the country for the first time. So who can be included in an application for citizenship for St. Kitts? So the main applicant has to be above the age of 18 years of age, and they can include their spouse. Unfortunately, St. Kitts does not recognize same-sex marriage, and so in order to include a spouse, you have to have a valid marriage certificate, so it cannot be a common law partnership. And then you can also include dependent children who are below the age of 30 that are financially dependent on the main applicant or spouse, and you can include parents that are above the age of 55, provided that they're financially dependent on the main applicant or spouse. And it's important, like if you don't know if somebody is financially dependent or can be included, you can consult us on the family composition, and we can let you know whether or not it meets the definition of someone that's dependent on the main applicant or spouse, and also based on previous cases that we've helped process. So to talk about the different options that there are for citizenship, so there's 4 primary options for St. Kitts and Nevis citizenship. One is the Sustainable Island State Contribution Fund. So in particular, this is one of the more popular options amongst our clients. It involves a non-refundable donation of US $250,000 for a single applicant or a family of 4. There's additional due diligence fees. So for every single option, there's due diligence fees of US $10,000 the main applicant and US $7,500 for any dependent that's above the age of 16. The large investment contribution is only due upon approval. So we would help prepare the file for file submission, submit your file to the Citizenship by Investment Unit along with the due diligence fees, and then only upon approval would you need to make the large investment of $250,000, which is a non-refundable contribution to the country. At the moment, we're seeing files be processed in 2 to 5 months, which is extremely great, especially compared to other programs like St. Lucia, which is taking over 2 years. Antigua, we still have some clients where it's been a year and a half, 2 years that they're waiting on citizenship. So this is one of the quicker options for citizenship. In terms of documentation, I'll talk about that in a little bit, but I'm going through the different investment options for citizenship. So another option for getting citizenship is the public benefit option, which is very similar to Sustainable Island State Contribution. Before, it was more costly to do the PBO option, but now for a limited time, there's the option to invest in PBO. So you also are making a non-refundable donation to the country. However, your funds are going to a specific cause. So for example, the high school is just one example. There was public housing option, another example. And sometimes this can come with additional benefits. So now it's the same price for a single applicant or family of 4. So it's very similar in price to Sustainable Island State Contribution Fund. Then there is the option of approved real estate for citizenship. So you cannot just purchase any real estate for citizenship. It really needs to be government approved, starting at US $325,000, which also comes with a smaller donation contribution amount. So it's definitely not $250,000, but it's much smaller. So the main applicant has to make a payment, and the spouse, same with dependent children that are above and below a particular age. The $325,000 option is typically shares in a hotel. However, there are some condos where you can live in 365 years. So there's 365 days a year, which count under the approved real estate. And we've recently, in the past week, had some more units in a really particularly popular option come on the market. And we've already had a lot of clients that have done this option, are really satisfied and live in their units. And then there's additionally the 6 private home sale option, which is US $600,000 and above. So if you're a retiree or if you're someone that wants to relocate and have a private home, there's this US $600,000 option. It's really important that it does qualify for citizenship, and we can verify whether or not a specific property qualifies for citizenship. But this would be another option, and we're seeing this option for those who want to come and live full-time on the island in particular, that want to do this option. And what's interesting about the private home sale option is typically the homes will relatively maintain their value over time. So if you want to resell, the holding period for the real estate for both the approved real estate and private home real estate is 7 years. So you have to keep it for 7 years before you can then sell your real estate. So those highlight the main options for citizenship. In terms of documentation, we always provide a detailed specific checklist specific to your case. But in general, you need a valid passport, a valid national ID like a driver's license, a birth certificate in long format showing parents' names on it. You need bank statements, bank reference letter, professional reference letter. You'll have forms to fill out, medical to do, proof of address, amongst other documentation. So we can really provide a specific checklist to your case and help you with all the documents. If you're from a country that's a member of the Hague Convention on Apostille, a lot of the documents will need to be apostilled. So we can help with the entire process. And just general life in St. Kitts and Nevis. It's one of my favorite countries in the Caribbean. I've traveled to all the countries, and it really, I don't know what it is about it, but I definitely love the country. I love the people. In terms of lifestyle, it's very laid back. If you're into swimming, into sailing, into kayaking, an outdoors lifestyle, golf, tennis, you really want to have a small community or impact in the community. We have some clients that relocated that do a lot of volunteer work, whether that's tutoring kids or involved in local schools. We have a client of ours who's doing a space program for children in Nevis, which is wonderful. In terms of lifestyle, both islands, I've spent time living on both islands. Everyone asks, which island do you prefer living on? It's hard to say. Nevis is really, both islands are beautiful. Nevis is more naturally, has more nature, and a tight-knit community. And same with St. Kitts. If you're interested in relocating to St. Kitts, I personally really like the Frigate Bay area for convenience and for work. So anyways, this was just a quick overview about the St. Kitts and Nevis Citizenship by Investment Program, and to provide an update that the PBO option is now the same as the Sustainable Island State Contribution Fund. There is biometric enrollment, so if you are a current citizen, you have until July of 2027 to enroll in biometrics, and new applicants for citizenship also need to do biometric enrollment to be issued a biometric passport once you complete biometrics. So this is just a little bit of an update. If you have questions, please feel free to comment in the comment section below or send me an email, and I'll provide my email in the description below. All the best. Bye for now. Bye.